Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the 48 Now desk. It is digital host AJ Wiest, and today I am joined with Miss Patrice Bivens. She is the director at Valley Arts and Entertainment and the founder of the Alabama Women in Jazz Festival. Patrice, thank you so much for coming or for joining in today.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. So the festival, the Alabama Women in Jazz Festival, is coming to town this Friday. First, what inspired you to start the Alabama Women in Jazz Festival?
Well, I've always been interested in music, myself, but actually, I have to give to a friend of mine who said, "Hey, you're doing music. You're around a lot of singers because I used to manage a lot, A&R, working in A&R." And she said, "Why don't you do the jazz festival?" I'm like, "What jazz festival?" So, working with women in music, and I'd been around it, so that was my inspiration. So I gave it a try, and voila, here we are, a few years later.
Absolutely. And I would also love to talk about your own personal music background.
Yes. My music background is that I'm originally from Huntsville. I left and went back east, but before I left, I took piano lessons and played in the band, clarinet, like most kids. But once I arrived in California, that's where the music journey really started for me. So, I worked in A&R with some women. To name one or two, I'll name one. I managed Maxie of Brownstone before she really hit Brownstone, and I kind of was around in the music business then. I have a famous family, and I always tell people I'm a Bivens, but I'm not a Bivens because they have all the ducats, as we say. But I was always around it. When you're in California, you're either a starving artist, starving musician, starving business manager, actor. So, I did classes at UCLA, music extension program, and I just love music.
Wow. That is so awesome. And what is it about jazz music that's just so special?
Oh my God, jazz is like the ultimate of everything. It is a all-inclusive, just a great feeling. It gives you all kind of emotions. You can pull out, in the old jazz arena, you had straight ahead jazz, you had bebop, we even have hip hop jazz, so jazz is a fully, I say, universal genre of music.
Absolutely. I don't think there's a genre today that we listen to today that doesn't at least pull a little bit from jazz music.
Yes,
It's
yes,
it's evolved so much over the years. And
yes.
I definitely want to touch on the artists coming to Huntsville this Friday for the festival. Who should we all expect to see?
Well, we will start our soiree party, which starts at 6 p.m. And we want to start with our local artist, who is Miss Benicia James. She is one of the great, I'd say, awesome singers here in Huntsville. And she's actually going to do a tribute to one of my favorite artists, Angela Bofill, who we lost in June of 2024. I know she's singing with angels there, but may she rest in peace. We also have Nasa Samba, who is a Brazilian band, and they will be with us. I'm excited about them. And Charla Bell, she is also a local flute player here, jazz flute, and I just kind of knew that she was great, and I've been trying to grab her a couple of years, so she's going to be with us. And then our headline artist is Rachel Therrien, and she's Canadian performer. She plays trumpet, flugelhorn, and she's going to present her Latin jazz project. And I'm just really excited to have her here. We've been talking since really about 2016. I've never been able to get her here, so finally she's coming this Friday.
Wow, it certainly sounds like an exciting lineup. Um,
Yeah.
and I see you also do a tribute to the great Jazz Divas program. Can you talk a little bit about that program?
Yes, I love the Jazz Divas program. That was kind of my spinoff to make myself stay in the jazz arena. Um, we did about three tribute programs to, I've had, and that was all local singers, local Huntsville, giving local performers, great women singers here, a chance to honor these women. So we've honored Sarah Vaughan, we've honored Billie Holiday, uh, we've honored a lot of those women then. And people say, well, I can do an impression. It's not an impression. It's actually a tribute. So hopefully, if there are any local women out there who'd like to come on our program and interview or audition for it next year, we really would like to get it up and running again.
Absolutely. And can you speak on the jazz scene specifically here in Huntsville or North Alabama?
We have a really thriving jazz scene in Huntsville, and I'd like to think that the Alabama Women in Jazz Festival, celebrating 10 years, has made a difference. In 2015, the city of Huntsville presented a Women in Jazz Day proclamation to us. But what's interesting is that folk associate jazz with baby boomers here. And here in Huntsville, we've seen millennials come not only to perform on stage, but they actually get in the audience and they love jazz, which is great. Of course, Huntsville gets it. They get it when it comes to jazz. We have good jazz programs here, some old, some new. And then we have jazz programs in school, and that helps the jazz scene here. Um, as a matter of fact, one of our earliest festivals, we had about 40 kids from Columbia High School to perform, and their band director actually featured three young ladies. So I would say that Huntsville is going to be booming even more in jazz within the next couple of years, and we hope to still be in the running.
Absolutely. And then, yeah, it's very much a timeless genre. And I think, yeah, we cannot just limit it to one generation because I think all generations love jazz music for sure. But let's get into the history of women in jazz music a little bit. How have women evolved or shaped jazz that we all know and love today?
Well, historically, women performers were mostly singers, Ella, Sarah, Billie Holiday. But there are women who came along later, like Mary Lou Williams and Hazel Scott, Camille Thurman, Esperanza Spalding, and they started to kind of turn the tide of how we look at jazz. Um, Particularly, there are many jazz women in jazz programs now existing across the country, us being one, and they are just giving women, underrepresented women, more of a visibility and platform, and that's how jazz has changed. And again, jazz is great in Huntsville, and I expect to see more women performance here and as they continue to come through here and across the country.
Yes. This month here in Huntsville, September, it marks Huntsville Music Month. What can you say about the growing music scene, whether it's jazz or any other genre here in the Rocket City?
Oh well, simply it's exploding. I'm so proud of Huntsville. I lived in California 25 years, and I said, "Oh, I'm gonna go home and get some rest." And I come home and it's just booming, and it's just awesome. and it's wonderful, and I love it. I mean, music is everything, and music brings people together, and that should be our common denominator. And here in Huntsville, it is, and I'm very proud and happy to be a Huntsvillian.
Uh-huh. Yeah, a lot of times people associate Huntsville with engineering and obviously the space program here. But do you see Huntsville maybe 5, 10 years down the line possibly becoming more of an entertainment city?
It's headed in that direction, and really, you know, we could talk about Nashville and Birmingham, but as we continue to get more, you know, A1 listers of performers who are directed in this direction, I believe so. I believe Huntsville has a great chance to come into that number one spot or in that parallel spot, whether it be Atlanta, Georgia, or Tennessee, or Birmingham. I think we are definitely going to be visible as we continue that journey. And thank God for our Huntsville Music office. They are going to, I believe, make us really expand to the, and hopefully when our performers go other places and come back and they can talk and speak about us and turn the whole thing around.
Absolutely. And Patrice, for you, I just want to ask, for you personally, what kind of feelings do you get when you listen to jazz music, or when you listen to jazz music for the first time? Like, what went through your mind?
The first time that I listened to jazz, really, it was Ella, and that's scatting. I was like, oh, just kind of give you chills through and through.
Mm-hmm.
And as I said before, it's the kind of music that can soothe you. You can bebop with it, you can lay back with it, you could talk. It's just cool. As they say, jazz is cool, and that's true. And that's the feeling that it gives me. I love it. I really love jazz, and I love R&B, uh, but jazz I love.
Absolutely. Jazz is cool. Very,
Yeah,
very true. Yes, ma'am.
yeah.
Um, Finally, how can people find more information about the Women in Jazz Festival and all the other programs offered?
You can go to valleyartsandentertainment.org, and we're also on Facebook. We're on Instagram. We're on Twitter. Uh, and so you can go to my website at valleyartsandentertainment.org, and that's how you can find us.
Very awesome. And also, that's just about all the questions I have. But if there's anything I didn't ask or anyone you would like to shout out, totally feel free to do that. But I want to thank you so much for joining in with me today.
Thank you. And I definitely would like to shout out our sponsors and supporters that have made the festival possible this year. That includes Arts Idea Grant, Arts Huntsville, and the City of Huntsville, and the Huntsville Music Office, Straight to Hell, and all of our media partners, including you guys. Congratulations on your 70-year existence. WJAB 90.9, WLRH 89.3, and Mix 99, 96.9. Thank you, and to all our supporters and participants. And come on out. We'll see you Friday.
Yes, ma'am. Well, thank you so much. Everyone, come on out to the Alabama Women in Jazz Festival this Friday. It's the 10th annual Alabama Women in Jazz Festival. You're certainly not going to want to miss it. But Patrice, thank you so much.
Thank you.